Hey everybody, what's up? Today we're talking about everything you need to know about Rochester, New York. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Anthony. It's my partner Avery, and we are American Home Team. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell so you're notified every Tuesday and Thursday that we release a new video. 100%, guys, and we are licensed realtors here in the state of New York. So that means as much as we love making these videos and all this content for you, we would love even more to help you with your real estate needs. There's an email and a phone number popping up on your screen. Go ahead, shoot us a text. Give us a call, shoot us an email. We are the guys that respond to those calls, texts, and emails, and we'd love to help you make a smooth move to the Finger Lakes and the Rochester regions of upstate New York. And without further ado, let's talk about everything that there is to know about Rochester, New York. Let's go. All right, guys, so kicking it off. So Rochester, New York is on the southern shore of Lake Ontario in the western New York area. Yes, it's part of the Finger Lakes, but it is northern of the Finger Lakes, right below Lake Ontario, and there's about a population of around 200,000, a little bit more than that now.
Yep, so I would say Rochester is the front yard of the Finger Lakes, if you will. And so Rochester is actually home to Rochester Institute of Technology, very good college there, and then University of Rochester, which is an amazing university as well. That houses a lot of the tier 1 hospital nurses and doctors and you know, professions like that, if you will.
Yep.
It's also home to companies like Kodak, Xerox, and Bosch and Lomb.
Yep.
And so huge companies, they all have roots right here in Rochester.
As well as Zweigels.
Zweigel.
We'll talk about that one a little bit later. But yeah, Rochester is a very technological city. Mm-hmm. There's lots of technology roots here, like Anthony said, and make fantastic IT professionals, fantastic doctors, nurses, anything in the medical profession. The colleges around here are great for it, as well as the technology, like I said. But with that said, Rochester is also home for the Rochester Museum of Arts, the Fine Arts. They have outdoor arts museums, indoor arts museums. They have music museums, as well as like classical music courses and stuff in the colleges.
Yep. It is home to one of the best music programs in the world.
Yep.
So go on Google and look that up, and you'll find that Rochester, New York comes up in one of the best
I think it's
areas.
called the George Eastman School of Music.
Yep.
Something like that.
And if you guys Googled music in the Rochester area, you would have found that.
Yeah.
It would have been number one. So that's why I was saying that. But it is a trendier city, right? And so speaking of trendy, one of the main areas in Rochester, in the city, is going to be your Park Avenue area. And we'll have our editor, John, put up a map of the city and outline Park Ave. It's one of the best areas in the city as far as, I would say, raising a family, and as well as college students, because it's near everything, as well as people who are in the foodie scene, or the, you know, the beer tasting scene.
Yep.
And then as well as people who, young professionals, I would say, right, who are working at some of the hospitals or maybe the colleges, any of the technological businesses around here.
And moving on from that, he had discussed some of the food culture, right? Here in Rochester, massive food culture, but we like to name our foods after garbage. Literally, we have a, so Nick Tahoe's is right that way from us right now. And they created a plate called the garbage plate. And what it is, it's a couple hot dogs, a couple hamburgers, some mac salad, some potato salad, meat sauce, hot sauce.
All just piled in on a plate.
Tater tots, all piled in on a plate where it looks like a plate of garbage. But if you have one of these, aside from the morning after, you will want to come back and eat another one because they're so freaking good.
It's coined as like the hangover's favorite meal, basically, right? Like, just because if you're hungover, that's something that's gonna soak up all of that nastiness and it's gonna help you out there. So hopefully that's not you, but hopefully you can just go and enjoy a garbage plate just because you're hungry.
Yep, and we also are rivals, barbecue rivals of the South.
Yep.
Dinosaur Barbecue is a big barbecue joint around here. We also have Sticky Lips, which is really good. But the barbecue here rivals the South. So if you've ever had barbecue in the South, but you've never had it up here in Rochester, you gotta have it because it's bomb.
Yeah, guys, so Rochester is, because of all the waterways, like we're here on the Genesee River, it is an extremely aesthetically pleasing city.
Yep.
You got the water passing through, you have the Irondequoit Bay up toward Irondequoit, and then you have Lake Ontario. And so, that being said, I'm willing to bet that more than half of the people in the city here have boats. Yep. They love going out on the boats, whether it's Lake Ontario, going fishing, trying to catch some huge fish, or just water skiing, or anything like that.
And when you're on Lake Ontario, it reminds you of an ocean because it's so big. Yep. The other side is Canada.
Yep.
Lake Ontario is massive. I remember when we were kids, we went out on a catamaran out on Lake Ontario. It was extremely choppy because it is. Lake Ontario is
motion sickness,
very choppy.
Wasn't good.
And yeah, it wasn't fun. But we have a lot of friends that go boating on the lake. They catch really big fish. They have a nice picnic out there, or whatever they do, tubing, all of that stuff. It's a little big for like kayaking and stuff, but you can get into like the bay and whatnot, and kayak, canoe, do whatever you want to do there. Yep. But the waterways are an incredible time, just like the Finger Lakes.
On that note, it is a very active city, right? So driving all throughout the city, you're going to see parks where people are exercising.
Yep.
You're going to see people jogging down the street. Just during this time of recording this video, there's been probably 15 joggers just going down the sidewalk here.
Yep.
That lines the Genesee River. So it is very popular, or a very active city rather.
Yep.
And then that being said, it's home to a lot of, what are they, AAA league sports, amateur league sports?
Yeah, semi-pro teams.
Yep, the Rochester Amerks, the Rochester Red Wings, the Rochester Rattlers.
Yep.
They're all very good, very fun to watch if you get a chance to go down to the Blue Cross Arena.
And it's cheap tickets to go.
Yep.
It's cheap tickets to go. You can go and watch a game, have a good time, bring your clients, bring your partners, bring your kids, your wife, whoever, and go have a good time at these games. And it's not like a major league game where it's extremely crowded or extremely busy. It's just a fun time to go watch some sports and hang out with your friends.
Additionally, it's not like one of those events where you bring all your business partners to and stuff, and it is a family friendly event.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
You're going
and
to
dog
see,
friendly.
Yes, you're going to see a lot of families and dogs at these events.
Yeah.
And so you don't need to feel like you're, tiptoeing around people's conversations because maybe they're having a business conversation or whatever. It's not like that.
That's right. All right, and moving on to the cost of living of the city of Rochester. So first and foremost, taxes are extremely high here. There's no way to get around that it just is what it is. The bigger of a house you get, the more expensive it's going to be as far as taxes go. However, the cost of living is right about 11% lower than the national average, which you guys have heard us talk about the Finger Lakes region before, but here in Rochester, it's 11% lower, and part of that is just because of how much commercial there is, how many mom and pop shops.
Yep.
And then, just
like in other videos that we've mentioned, you can't really do anything about the taxes.
Yeah.
We're in New York State.
Yep.
We're going to have it as long as we're in New York State, you know what I mean? So it's not really great to harp on that. It just deters people from enjoying their time here.
Yep.
Right? Focus on all the other things that the city and the state has to offer, like the aesthetic beauty and all these activities that we have mentioned in the past. That being said, the real estate prices are a little bit lower here in the city. It depends on where you are.
Yep.
We're talking really anywhere from, maybe if you get into some of the more like rundown area, I would say
50s.
Yeah, 50,000s or so. And then
just like any city.
In East Ave, which is a popular street in the Park Ave area of the city, is you're going to be looking at well over $1 million. There was actually one, it was a major compound, had multiple properties on it, or multiple houses on it rather, sold for over $4 million. So you have some super expensive and you have some relatively cheap
Very
properties,
cheap, very
or
cheap.
very affordable, I should say,
Yeah.
properties.
Yeah.
So real estate, the market, you're looking all over the place as far as price point goes.
Yep.
And it really depends on proximity to the hustle and bustle.
Yep.
And then proximity to the airport as well. So there's a lot of different factors that go into pricing of the real estate here.
Yep. And then the commute times. Commuting here in Rochester, once you get out of the city, I'll say, once you get out of the city, it's really easy. Hop on 490, go to 590, and you're up by Lake Ontario. Or you can go down 490 and hit the thruway, and then you're down into the Finger Lakes region. Wherever you want to go, like Rochester is in between Buffalo and Syracuse. So you can just take the stretch on the thruway, or, I mean, depending on where you're coming from, 490, 590, 390 to the thruway, and head up either to Buffalo or Syracuse.
And you know, we were just out in Denver, and you know, driving around Denver, it felt like it took forever to get around the city.
Yep.
Because the traffic was so insane and it was so densely
And it's one-way
populated.
streets everywhere.
Right.
and
Yeah, one ways. And driving through Rochester, you can get from side to side or end to end, right, in Rochester, maybe within 15 minutes at most.
If that.
Yeah, it's very quick to commute through the city. Anywhere that you're trying to go, you're not getting stuck at a million stoplights.
It's almost like you're just
not being-
driving through a neighborhood.
Yeah, you're not being forced to go down, you know, multiple one-ways just to get, you know, doing, you know, 3 squares just to be able to get to a single property.
Right.
There's multiple ways around the city. There's a inner loop, there's an outer loop, so
Yep.
you can get anywhere that you want to go very quickly throughout the city.
That's right. All right, guys. And if you want to know anything else about living in Rochester, or the food, or the art, or the culture, or the boating, or the garbage plates, feel free to reach out to this email address and that phone number. We would love to chat with you guys, and even more, we'd love to help you make a smooth move to the Rochester area. Be sure to like and subscribe and smash that notification button so that you're notified every Tuesday and Thursday that we drop a new video.
Absolutely. Until the next one, guys. We'll see you.
See ya.